Coming up with Maryville, of course, you can see Hypnot, Tony B, Rat, Guru, Mac, and Aether. Those are some names you might recognize from, like you said, being Tier 2 and 3 Overwatch.
That's right. And then on Harrisburg, you got Insomniac, Swish, Retina, Hobbs, Soams, and Smoothie.
Not using the Primal very early here. Gets Hobbs off the ledge. 6v5 now for Maryville, moving on in. They forced the beat out of Harrisburg. And now you can see the grab in on the other side, keeping Retina up and over. And Harrisburg's still fighting this back to a degree, maintaining control. So Maryville, despite the early pick, have not done it here yet.
Look at the position for Maryville right now. Smoothie is so low, they're on the point, they are down 1. And currently Harrisburg, they're just having to survive, try to fight off this damage. But positioning, so much better for Maryville. You see them winning the poke war.
And Harrisburg, even as they're in a losing fight here, they're getting heavy progress as they're falling in. They're going to stagger this out. They're not as worried about feeding ult charge. And okay, into the pit you go.
Board for them right now. The Swish is close to that grab. Needs to build it before Tony B can get that Transcendence.
Hypnot got casually moved forward, primaling early into the fight. Still eats a lot of damage, 603, but sets up the bomb, the displacement. Lets Guru hit the self-destruct.
And you see that as the sends also. Bye-bye Soams off the map. The fight is already over, but a nice little style point there. That was this should be it. It's now just clean up. There are no ults for Harrisburg. Maryville, and specifically Mac there, getting 2 key boops and making sure to be enabled by Aether, who gives him the armor pack.
Soams, you see, taking down Hypnot towards the very end. It's just
look
too
at
much
Mac
damage
go.
on Harrisburg. And Mac has been fantastic here today. The stronger far spot to be in the entire game. But now Maryville have gotten through multiple hurdles. Guru's going to get right up to space. He's taken down. Hobbs was without healing for quite a while there. They have to stay on the point at all moments here. And Smoothie going to get D-Maxed. There comes the EMP from Aether, and Harrisburg is in a very tough spot.
Harrisburg's in a tough spot, but the EMP came out pretty much before the trance is done. But however, with the ante, 2 picks are down. Maryville's on point. They're building ults. This should be clean up here, even with him not going down.
Maryville going to continue their undefeated map streak. They take Nepal, and they do it pretty decisively. So Hypnot's going to get a chance to go back in. Hobbs drops the barrage, gets Tony B before getting slept. It was risky, but pays off. Somzo. Maryville for now, just withstanding. Guru going to drop the grab and immediately erased the EMP from Smoothie, setting the tone. And Harrisburg off that EMP should be able to take point A.
This is definitely the flip now. It took a while. They used the EMP though. They've gotten the point that they needed. Guru's grab, sure, it forced trance. It got Rena in it, but there was just no cleanup available for Maryville.
Meanwhile, Aether just going to probably go down mid. Hypnot though, out of the fight early. Aether gets picked.
Wait, great pick. They win the fight. But Maryville, you had your ults. Just go. Just take the fight.
They didn't have a good EMP setup, and Hobbs continues to lay in the rockets. Ends up putting Hobbs on the ground. Hobbs falling, Harrisburg getting pushed back, but no one has fought for the EMP. They can re-engage.
The Shadow
gets 4!
The Shadow's very good for Rena. Can they get anyone? Hobbs gets Tony B. That's huge. The Valk is still out. This fight is definitely Harrisburg's.
Harrisburg going to push through on the point B. Maryville, meanwhile, about 40% away from another EMP, but they're going to get caught and grabbed. Harrisburg moving on in. Smoothie looking for the bomb coming to the side. Girl already down. Bomb going to explode. 1 down here for Maryville. And there's a barrage in over the top for Hobbs. Gets another 2. And Harrisburg getting some real momentum now. And they're going to have to EMP as soon as they head on out. But Maryville doesn't have the people that really fall through. They're able to use it to immediately remove Soams. But Harrisburg still in a good spot. Hobbs getting pocketed. Rocket after rocket. Looking for the boop off. Doesn't quite get it. Retina out of the fight. Soam's going to be res back up. Maryville, though, threatening the Shatter coming on in. And Hypnot off the Shatter. Going to be giving Maryville a little bit of stabilization. And the Graviton immediately used. Guru focused on down. Here comes the bomb from Smoothie. Looking for it. Gets 2. Harrisburg. A well-executed combo, and Maryville once more in the hot seat.
Maryville, they can come after the recontest, but they really don't have any ults, and they got the worst of both worlds.
Mac just gets absolutely intercepted, and that's going to be it. Harrisburg finishing out King's Row with a pretty reasonable time. And Harrisburg now having the reset, get beyond the reset once more. Swish, though, doesn't survive, gets caught out. Hobbs, though, going to fire back the other way, 71%. Resurrection going to come back in. Harrisburg working with a full 6 here, and Hobbs getting very, very close to a tire.
I mean, Hobbs is getting so much value here into this room because Maryville keep on getting into this room, taking the fight, and Hobbs is just doing everything he can. It's going to be kind of risky. They need to give him the support.
It's going to be very, very risky here. Rat moves in, Dragon Blade out, trying to slice and dice his way through, ends up getting 2. The Bob catches him at the end, but it's a little bit too little too late. The Bob is used, but Maryville, they've done way too much damage. Or have they? Harrisburg actually bring him back a little bit, the Bob, but I still think they've lost so many that Maryville, through attrition alone, should be able to get back here to the point. Getting back over to the point, but Harrisburg shutting down one by one. Spoody coming in big one more time. The beat is going to be dropped, and Harrisburg off the nano, just removing Maryville from the point.
It's done. It's done. The cleanup is too good here. We're seeing Harrisburg now get the cleanup frags. Mac has beat, but there's no ults either. There's respawning. They have so many ults for Harrisburg.
Maryville, though, somehow staying alive, but not any longer. Harrisburg, they snapped the streak. Really, really tough for Maryville. They needed the EMP to be built. Harrisburg off the early pick. A fantastic opportunity here. And Maryville, this game broke down. Hypnot's going to fall. And I got news for it. It's going to be Harrisburg well on their way to getting point A.
Maryville need to come and die on point very fast. Good sleep there for Tony B, who was trying to push. And that was all off of Hobbs' flank. He moved flank side and killed the translocator for Aether. So then Aether is stranded on point, and then they removed him.
Ready to strike. The EMP can set up the barrage. And they're going to be looking for now Spoody going off to the side. EMP ready, drops in the middle, but two already down. Maryville striking first, and Harrisburg likely now have lost way too many to make this point work. They drop the barrage in the corner, not going to be what they need. So Rowley's going to count in for Maryville. Rados, be careful. Rados gets picked. That would have been absolutely terrible, but the pressure comes in from Maryville, and as expected, Harrisburg going to be losing two very early in the fight. Shadow comes in from Hypnot, doesn't do anything. Harrisburg looking for a pickup. They're able to find Aether. Man advantage out of Harrisburg. Then you keep Bretna alive. Bretna under heavy pressure, almost has Shatter of his own. Harrisburg moving forward. Tony B down. 6 on 4 for Harrisburg. The pressure getting rather intense. They have 3. Spoody doing what needs to be done, and Harrisburg well on their way to getting point B.
There's Maryville just making a swap to 3 as Hobbs. He gets 2. He gets damage boosted rockets right into the spawn.
Get Hobbs back into the fight, and that's what Harrisburg is doing. They're making the resurrection safe. But Hobbs, I think, respawn back in base, so the rest are going to come back in. But even all the while, Swish laying in the damage here, and Harrisburg is still in a good spot. Okay, Tony B's down. Early pick up to Harrisburg. There's opportunity. They're going to drop the EMP down in the building. So down the fight. Both teams down to Anna. Rat with a lot of room to work with here. And Maryville, off of their ult play, have likely done enough to take point A.
Here they come.
They move back in. Maryville in a very, very good spot. Retina going to end up falling here. Hobbs down as well. And Harrisburg in a tough area now. Maryville up to the pressure on point B. Absolutely overwhelming. And Harrisburg, they just have no resources to throw at, no ultimates to be used as Maryville grinds them into dust.
Maryville, they're walking in. They have the nano. Here comes the nano. It's coming. It's actually going on to Rat. They're on top of Swish. But the Immortality Field.
Immortality Field does so much work for Harrisburg there. And here it comes Swish to the side. Tank mode 2 already down. And that's going to be the cleanup that Harrisburg was looking for here in this fight.
Fair.
Maryville, they're just waiting. EMP used early, but it's used before the blade. And Rat is down immediately. The barrage on the top. Hobbs deletes Rat, deals with the blade.
10 seconds up. They have no ults. They have no players.
Absolute disaster for Maryville as Harrisburg, an iron defense here on Volskaya. They defend the second round, and now they're well set up for their next attack. Heavy pressure going on there. Hypnot eating poke damage on the other side. Harrisburg dominating. Tony B gonna fall. The cracks begin to show as Harrisburg breaks Maryville wide open. It's going to be Harrisburg going up in the series here, 2-1.
Can't make more sense. And actually, we have Swish. Slep. Can anyone from Maryville get the cleanup, though? They do.
They do. Yeah, Guru right there. Swish is falling off the map. Rat getting the pick off on the Soames, and Maryville looking much more composed on Route 66 here so far.
Islands are going to be tricky, but I like the swap overall. It makes a lot of sense. Now they can effectively contest the cart. They can remove a lot of the higher ground, but Guru, Aether drops the EMP.
Rat takes down Insomniac. Maryville striking again. Guru, barrage, locked and loaded, waiting here in the back. Diving in, doesn't use it. Good self-control, it wasn't needed.
Yep.
Tony B's down, Soames finishes what was started by the early poke. Harrisburg, they find a way to crack the bunker very, very quickly.
Yes, though, they actually are keeping the Orisa, but getting, they're going to actually get a Tracer.
We'll see if it pans out. A very nice hack on the Guru early on. Rat gonna fall. Guru gets demagged. He can't get away after the hack. And Smoody doing so much work for Harrisburg.
1+ fight.
I mean, the real problem is the EMP's coming out. The EMP immediately sets up. Hypnot down. Ops hold on to the barrage under heavy pressure. Resurrection back up though. Maryville could stabilize the Valkyrie, keep them reasonably healed. And Rat is back in turret mode. Guns down. Insomniac on the other side. And the minigun here from Rat doing a lot of work.
And they didn't even have to invest any other ults. It was just the Valk.
This comes at a very big risk. Positioning's not gonna be great, but Swish is down. Aether just headshot Swish directly out of it. And that works out quite well for Maryville.
They actually use the Bob to engage. They use it as a zoning ult where they can move forward. They can put some pressure there onto the Harrisburg, how split they are. Because when they're running one tank, Bob is a lot scarier ult.
Down to their final minute. but they get down Mac. The pressure's still coming in, and Rat not gonna be res this time.
Swish just getting so much value, getting Guru as he's going for the bomb too. Swish getting 3. Swish's Hanzo has been the playmaker for Harrisburg consistently.
Up for the next fight. He'll have good displacement, and I think Maryville, they might be done with the bunker for point C.
Soap's now going to have that transcendence up. Push going down, actually. 2 Rats. Tracer going to recall. See Maryville still committing to this fight, but they're just going to be dying onto the point. Dropping the barrage. I think with Hobbs getting that barrage off, it'll be a swap. Bastion.
And guess what? Setup Bastion beats not Setup Bastion. Rat just deleted from the game there. Hobbs.
Look at Hobbs. He's healing. He's not even shooting.
He's so low, but he's able to get healed back up. In here in the moment, Retina going to fall though. Maryville back on some point. Supercharger out. Fighting tooth and nail. Hypnot takes out Hobbs.
And actually, the recontest does have Maryville off of the Supercharger. Despite those early picks, the Supercharger is doing so much work.
Feel the touch, but Maryville might have to give up his life. They're already down 2. Maryville, they've done it here. They're going to be forcing a map 5. And it's all going to come down to that.
Hobbs has been, when we talk about Maryville's consistency and how they've relied a lot on their individual talent, getting here so far, just how unbelievably skilled they are, we see equal playmaking abilities now from Swish and from Hobbs on the opposing side of Harrisburg.
Uses the grab, moves on their own, uses the nano boost, but the Blizzard, so good defensively, gives Maryville breathing room, interrupts the Harrisburg combo, and Harrisburg ends up falling. Not time to shatter, knocks down 2. Harrisburg, they use to beat the sustain, but it's not enough. Swish, gonna fall, Hypnot shatter, setting the way. And Maryville now 1 fight away from going up around. In the very end, Swoody got fall, Barrage used on the backhand side, and the Barrage was a little bit risky. It was a tough spot. Maryville there's punished, but they still need more to take the point.
Yeah, Maryville, they're weak. Rat, he gets the frag. You see the aimbot going to come out now for Guru. That should be the end of the fight. Everyone has to run. It's just Retina left. That Soul Tank character. Finally should be the swap. Swish gets the pick on Guru, but Maryville gets the swap finally. They get the flip. They'll have EMP. There's going to be a counter EMP fight, though. And more importantly than that, Soames has Transcendence.
Swap for Harrisburg. The EMP from Aether, likely going to make it an easy fight for Maryville, but Harrisburg is going to bring this back. This is what they need to do, and hey, even got Rat.
Though Aether is close to another EMP, but you see the Coalescence involved. Mac is down, the rally is out. Can Maryville keep up these frag, but Tony B's gone too. No support, but Hypnot gets 3, gets 2.
Exerts his will on the game once more. We saw some from 66.
3.
He goes absolutely ape.
4.
Hypnot just dominating from Maryville. Harrisburg down to 1 last fight. Baton in from Harrisburg. Here comes the combo. They're looking for anything. Tony B is down, but it comes at a cost. Hobbs out of it. Harrisburg fighting. They might have done it just here. More on the point. They are not done yet. Rena's down. EMP about to come in. Maryville looking for the finish here and now. The bomb from Smoody doesn't get anything. Hypnot under pressure. Graviton in from Harrisburg. Graviton deals to the Hypnot. 5-on-5. EMP from Aether, but his team is down all around him. Maryville, they have to transcend just to stay in it. Drop the Graviton on their own. Harrisburg, they don't support up to respond. Tony B gets Hobbs. This is back and forth.
But Soames just playing these flank angles against Coalescence. They're regrouping on the point. And Maryville, they committed so many ults. After Harrisburg committing the ults, they don't get any value for either team. And it's last fight. Can they even touch?
It's back. They were down 99-0. Maryville. Can they bring it back? Hypnot moves in. Mac already down. Hypnot super low. Hypnot's going to fall. Maryville on the verge of elimination here. Harrisburg, they're about to do it. Harrisburg has defeated Maryville. They will be going to the grand finals tomorrow.
Well done.